You can have it all. Whoever said you can't have it all is based on their lived experiences, as well as them receiving the lived experiences of other people and saying, like, that's all there is. But that's not true. That's not true. What's true is you get to create your own life. You get to create your own reality. You can have the love, you can have the work, you can have the money, you can have the family, you can have the travel, you can have it all. What does it even mean to be ready? What does it mean to have it figured out? What does it mean to have everything solved? What does that mean? Okay, you reached the goal, now what? Okay, you accomplished this, now what? Now what? So now you got so what and you got now what? So what? All this other things that's not in alignment with what you desire. Now what? You accomplished the goal. Okay, so what's next? Sometimes we don't know what's next because we haven't ever been present in what we were doing. When we are present with ourselves, what's next doesn't isn't even a factor. When we are showing up for ourselves, what's next is not even a factor because we're always in this now moment. We're leaning into the flow, we're leaning into the abundance of our lives, we're leaning into the freedom, we're leaning into the becoming. So what? So what things didn't work out before? So what you took a risk? So what you took many risks? So what you failed? So what? So what? So what? So what? There's always going to be challenges and circumstances that will prove you right, right? What did Ford say? What's the famous quote that says, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're always right. So if you believe that you can't do something, there are going to be people, places, things, and experiences and situations that will show up to prove to you that you are right, that you cannot. There will be evidence that you're going to fail over and over again. But now it's your responsibility to choose to pivot and move beyond those limitations that you don't have to agree to. You can see it a limitation in your life, accept that there's that limitation in your life. So now you can understand how to dismantle this limitation, or to even acknowledge that there's a limitation present so that you can remove it and you can decide that you'll no longer agree to it. A lot of the times we're stopping ourselves from the things that we so desire. I am at present at a an event where I see nothing but luxury vehicles. I see my car, my Porsche Cayenne. Um, I see beautiful couples. I see powerful women. This is a business event, a formal business event. I'm humbled to be here. I'm humbled to be amongst these women that are being recognized. There are things that I can learn from them. So if we walk through life as a student, and as my boo likes to say, he likes to say lightheartedness. I am I am leaning into lightheartedness because when you are living with a light heart, nothing's ever that serious. And it's all serious all at the same time. It's like you take your life so serious that you don't allow unnecessary things to affect you or to impact you in non-serving ways. You open yourself to different ways of thinking, different ways of processing, different ways of connecting, different ways of expressing yourself. And again, there's no right or wrong to any of this. This just is. And it's like, so what? I'm working on my TED Talk, and part of me weaving in my story is like, wow, I've really have experienced some challenges. So people would say to me like, "Oh wow, you're like um what's the Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. Like, I used to lean heavy into Murphy's Law, but no, this is my law. This is my life. I don't have to agree to limitations. I don't have to agree to expectations. I don't have to excuse me, y'all. I don't have to agree to anything that doesn't serve me. I only choose to agree to things that serve me, things that move me forward, things that work in my favor. I don't negotiate my worth. I don't negotiate my time. I don't negotiate my boundaries. These are all things that I had to learn. But again, boundaries are for me, never for others. They're to keep me in line. They're to keep me on my trajectory of how I want to show up, how I want to engage, what my brand is, and what I want my outcome of my life to be. Because a lot of the times, y'all, we're working for things that we already have. We're saying, "Oh, I just wish I can sit here and eat my favorite ice cream all the time." You sitting there eating your favorite ice cream in that now moment, you're already living in your answered prayer. So you got to lean into that feeling. Being present in that moment will bring more present moments of that same. Because in that present moment, when it feels good to you, you're like, this feels so good to me. Innately and subconsciously, you're gonna be like, I need to feel this all the time. And so because innately and all the time you were already like, I'm gonna feel this all the time, you're gonna start bringing more experiences like that. You're gonna find yourself sitting there, maybe in the middle of the floor, crisscross applesauce, eating eating your favorite ice cream, drinking your favorite tea, having slow mornings, having slow days. One like I somebody reached out to me last week because we talked about we talked about what did we talk about? What did I talk about? Somebody reached out to me and it was like, "Oh my god, you said that." Oh, yeah, I was sharing like my ask receive act, or she watched one of my YouTube videos and she's like, everything that you said, you did. And this was like the last piece. And I'm like, the last piece, y'all, that's coming my way is my porch. Other than that, I received everything. I was telling someone this morning, you can have it all. Whoever said you can't have it all is based on their lived experiences as well as them receiving the lived experiences of other people and saying like that's all there is. But that's not true. That's not true. What's true is you get to create your own life. You get to create your own reality. You can have the love, you can have the work, you can have the money, you can have the family, you can have the travel, you can have it all. But it requires you to be that person that has it all. Sometimes we don't want to change and become the person that we need to be to get the things that we want because it requires us to change. It requires us to switch up. It requires you to drink more water. It requires you to lift weights. It requires you to stretch. It requires you to do yoga. It requires you to leave the house, go to the coffee shop. It requires you to go to networking events. It requires you to pay for the VIP premium ticket. It requires you to show up. It requires you to wake up and put extra effort in. It requires you to decide what's your look. It requires you to be and become. You are holding yourself up. So what? Right? So before I got into the gym the way that I'm in the gym, I used to be so like, oh my God, people are gonna look at me. Oh my God, what are people gonna say to me? Oh my God. And then it became you go, so what, people are here. So what, people are looking at me. So what? So what? So you show up in spite of the so. That's what so what means. So what means I am showing up regardless. Y'all, everybody looks so beautiful. They look so very nice. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But everybody, so what? And then, right, once you get what it is that you're manifesting, now what? Now you enjoy it. Now you lean in. Now you're present. Now you're in a receiving mode. Now you're amplifying that frequency that says, I can have whatever I want. I can have anything and everything. There is no, and I remember years ago there was a woman that said to me, "Oh, you make me feel like we're not in competition." And I'm like, "Cause we're not." And this is years later, and I still feel the same way. I love complimenting women. I love seeing women win. I love seeing women loved. I love seeing women making money. I love seeing women be sufficient. I love seeing women be interdependent. I love seeing women live their lives how they want to live their lives. I love seeing women show up in the world the way that they want to show up in the world. I love that. I I don't speak on the other aspect and the other frequencies unless necessary in teaching. But I don't even give that shit my attention because that shit's beneath me. If you are not in alignment with the women that I'm speaking of and the women that I prioritize connecting to, then you're not in alignment. And it doesn't mean that you'll never be. It just and that's okay. There's no right or wrong. I know that and here's where acceptance comes in, y'all, is knowing that you're not for everybody and you shouldn't want to be. It will look like people don't like me just because I speak so confidently. It will look like people don't like me but guess what? That shit don't got nothing to do with me. It looks like, am I the person that I need to be based on the life that I'm deciding to live? And knowing that you accept that you're the superhero in your story always, in all ways, and that means that you will be the villain in other people's stories. There's times where I had to step back and I lost friendships because I was a horrible friend. I was overwhelming. I was sharing too much. And that's my past. So you had to learn and you had to become, y'all. You see, when I be in it, I be like giving y'all all that goodness, giving y'all all that goodness. But so what? And now what? So what? You got circumstances and limitations. What do you want? Everything. There's a what is her name? Marie Marie Forleo? Marie Forleo. I feel like that's her name. But she says everything is figure outable. Everything is figure outable. Everything is figure outable. Everything. Even you, even your demons, even your pain, even the things that you feel like, hey, I may not ever be able to recover from that. You get to choose and you get to become. Y'all, I love you, love you, love you. Tap in. Make sure you get on my email list, arichbook.com, where I'm going to be talking to y'all. I need to talk to y'all. And I said this on my Instagram. I'm like, I need to talk to my people without the interference of social media, watching everything, trying to tell you what you want to do, and to move the noise out the way. And so I love y'all. I love y'all immensely. And I'll catch y'all on the next Rich Life Experience.